Hello and welcome to the Sports Center YouTube channel. He's back. Carlos is back
Mm.
in the building. How are we doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, man. Good holiday.
Yeah, not bad. Very hot, very tiring. I need another one.
So we're literally just recording this seconds after that dramatic winner that Spain have just knocked the host Germany out of Euro 2024.
We have, yeah. We're I were hoping for penalties, if I'm honest. I think the fair thing needed to go to penalties. I think just to be fair, it was a pretty even game. I felt.
It was a good game, wasn't it? I thought it was a decent game, to be fair. But we're not here to talk about them too. We're here to talk about us, England. Have you been watching games?
I watched the Slovakia one. I didn't watch the Slovenia because I were on a flight at the time,
Yeah,
so I missed that. But the pilot updated us on score, so I wasn't too bothered about that.
right.
To be fair. But the Slovakia game, Jesus Christ.
Bad, wasn't
Jesus.
it?
Horrendous. Horrendous. I didn't even cheer when Bellingham scored because I was just that sort of like, I were already pissed off.
Yeah. What, just
So,
concede? You just kind of conceded that we were going out.
yeah, I thought we're going out. And when he scored, I was like, it was more relief than like jubilation. I was just like,
Yeah. It was almost just saved as embarrassment, really, didn't it?
yeah, that was it. You know, and I think it's going to be the same again tomorrow. I think if we could quite easily be embarrassed, and that's nothing against Switzerland because they're a lot better team than Slovakia. But I think we've not lost to them since 1982.
What, to
So
Switzerland or Slovakia?
Switzerland,
Right. Okay.
and I'm sure it's in that we've not lost to them in the last 9 games or something like that.
Right.
So, but you
Well,
just know full well tomorrow it'll be that day.
let's get into it. So straight away, I don't know if you caught the last video that I did. What do you reckon to all these rumours or this speculation that is now all of a sudden going to change to three centre halves and wing backs? What's your
Well, I
take on that?
disagree. Um, I sort of disagreed with you to a to a degree in the fact that everything he's done so far hasn't worked. Everybody's calling for change.
Yeah,
Granted, everyone's calling for change in personnel, really. I think, but I
yeah.
think, but I think any change is needed at the minute, and if it means,
Don't you think it's a massive risk though at this stage?
I think it's a risk to stay where we are and do not and just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, I suppose you could. You would depends which way you
You know,
look at it. Yeah, it's not a
it,
bad
it's
point.
true. It's true, and I think I'm sure I've read the stat. He's only played five at the back or three at the back, however you want to put it,
Yeah,
once in years, and something like 5 or 6 years he's done it.
it's funny, isn't it? Because when he first come into the England job,
That's
that's
what he
what he
did.
played, didn't he? And
Yeah,
then he
and
went completely away from it.
so it's making so for him to go back to it. Do you know? And especially because Switzerland play that formation as well. But that's the only thing that pisses me off because it feels as though we're trying to counteract them instead of playing our game.
Yeah,
But
we're just
as
obviously
I
going.
said,
We're just matching them up in theory.
yeah. But I
I
think our
agree.
game isn't good. Our game isn't good enough to dominate a minute. So I think we do have to match them up, and I think a change, whatever that means, necessary, has to happen.
Who would you back? So if we're going to go for about five, who are we having in there? Because obviously we've got to shuffle the pack anyway, haven't we? Because of Mark Gay.
Yeah. So I think Conser comes in for Gay.
Yeah, I agree. I know some
I think
people
that's
will be
pretty
saying
much.
Joe Gomez, but I think Conser's
I
ahead
think
of the pecking order in a bit looks of things.
I think it's a given that I think we
Yeah,
couldn't you could put a bet on that and it'd happen.
yeah.
So I think that's him, Stones, and Walker at back. I think he'll bring Trent at right back, but I think he'll drop Trippier because he's
Mm.
been slightly injured. I'd go Saka left wing back
This is the big thing, and this is the big one, isn't it? Do you
because
think he's going
uh,
Saka there?
yeah, I do. I think only because he played there a little bit, didn't he, and back in the game,
Mm.
and I think it'd be a massive, massive, massive gamble for him to put Luke Shaw there.
But
I
don't you
don't
think it's a
think
gamble for Saka to play there? He hasn't played there in
no.
years.
No, because I think he's not really playing left back. He's playing left wing.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know what I mean? I don't think there'll be that much defending to do, to be honest. I mean, there will be, but I don't think it'll be more of an attacking role, and I think more Declan Rice and whatever it'll be covering in there a lot as well. So I don't
He's one
see.
player. Sorry to cut you off there. Declan, you just mentioned Declan Rice. He's one player that's don't want to sound like I'm being harsh, but he's really disappointed me this tournament.
Oh, you're not being harsh. He's been absolutely shocking for from he's set these standards right up there, and that's what we're expecting. He's been dreadful. The amount of balls he's given away is frightening.
Mm.
He's been one of our worst players, in my opinion.
I totally agree, mate. I think he's been terrible, and I think it was literally the last pod that I did. I was screaming out. I was like, "Can someone introduce that guy how to receive a ball on the half turn?" I literally
Yeah.
just watching Spain. I watched Rodri do it, and he received the ball half turn, and he took two players. He took the whole of their midfield out with just one half receiving a ball.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's what you need to do to break lines.
it's
Granted, you
true,
can't
but
do it every time, but fucking hell, mate. Just Declan, come on, you're better than
but
this.
the problem with him doing that though is once you break them lines, you're either looking straight down middle
Mm.
and looking for Kane, who isn't there because he's dropped too deep, or you're looking wide and there's nobody wide.
Kane's not fit for me.
But for him to break these lines and then look up and think, "Oh, my passing to there's no one there." So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you. He's got to be on half turn and look forward, but there's nobody forward. Everyone's pulled back with that fucking deep. It's just so yes. Back to the original question, it's got to change, and I think if it's formation, so be it.
I, I'm really torn because I totally agree with pretty much everything you're saying in terms of we have to change, but I just think in a quarter final, it's such a massive gamble to then basically rip up the script and rewrite it.
So what
It's,
would you do? Just change personnel instead of formation?
I think
But
so, yeah. Yeah, I think I would. I think
I'd be happy. I'd be happy with that, but I just don't think he will do that because the personnel that people are calling, I think is Palmer for Saka on the right wing,
yeah,
which I would personally do as well. I'd probably keep Trippier. If you keep sticking with the back four, I'd keep Trippier in there,
yeah.
and I'd like to bring Shaw on after the last half an hour, get him some game times.
I think Luke
So
Shaw would have
potentially,
got some game time given the circumstances of last game. I think if we'd have been, a couple of goals up and looking to have a smoother entry into the quarters, I think he did plan to bring Luke Shaw on, but obviously circumstances, he had to throw caution to the wind in and get attacking players on.
yeah, I don't see him changing anything on left wing as much as we're all crying out for it.
He obviously don't
Um,
fancy Bellingham and Foden playing in front of
they don't,
with Declan Rice as a free, does he? He clearly
but
doesn't fancy that.
but if he goes with a five, 3-5-2, whatever it is, then he's going to have to do that, isn't he? Rice, Bellingham, Foden, surely.
So
Or
the
is he
three
going to?
centre halves, two wingers, and then
Or
what?
is he
You
going
have,
for? Or would you go with Rice and Maino in middle, Bellingham just in front of them, and then Foden again out on the left?
but I suppose with Saka as your kind of wing back winger, you'd almost bring him Foden a little bit more into centre of pitch a little bit more, aren't you?
What, and have Bellingham up top with Kane?
Maybe, or whether you play them two behind Kane, play Kane as a one, and have the two behind him.
Is there no talk for Tony to start?
Nah, not for me. I mean, granted, he put himself about, but we we were we were we were desperate, weren't we?
For me, I thought, a lot of people saying Tony's got to start, he's got to start.
Nah,
For me, he definitely doesn't start. He came on and did exactly what I wanted him to do. Impact.
yeah,
Came on, made an absolute meal of himself, just menace, just being a pain,
yeah.
winning a couple of fouls, set up, sorted out the goal really,
Mm.
create, by dragging that runner, making that run, dragging player away. So I think he's on bench again for me,
Yeah,
and impact off at bench if we need him.
Harry Kane could have the shittest of games, and if we go through, he's still starting at standards. Harry Kane's
Oh, well,
not getting dropped.
it's true, isn't it? And he shouldn't be dropped. But
Yeah, I probably
absolutely
agree
not.
to an extent.
Should not be dropped, no way. And I know a lot of people saying Hurricane shit this and over, and I just think, do you know what? You're an arsehole. Because you're uneducated.
Yeah,
He's not shit. He's just slightly out of form. I agree with you. I think he's slightly unfit. He's got his back problem, which troubled him towards back end of season.
mm.
He's not 100%. but he still starts. He is Harry Kane.
He's a goal machine. He's an absolute goal machine.
So even though he's unfit, back injury, whatever, still scores in injury time.
Well, we've
You know,
scored
extra time. Extra time. Sorry,
how many goals we scored? We scored 4 goals.
4 goals.
And he scored two
of
of them.
Bellingham. Bellingham, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So as shit as he is and as shit as we've been playing, do you know what I mean? He ain't getting dropped. Not
No.
a chance. Not for me.
No. What do you think we'll do? How do you think we'll do? Do you think we'll progress or not?
Yeah, I do, but I could just see it being very, very similar to the Slovakia game. I
What,
just,
90 minutes extra time, Pens?
oh, bloody hell. Put me up. Nah, do you know what? I'm going to do it 90 minutes. I think it's going to be 2-1. KG 2-1.
You know, I've got two predictions.
Go on then.
I think we come out on top both. I think
Yeah.
I think he changes it and we go this 5 at back, 3 at back, whatever you want to call it. And it's a revelation. And everyone's like, "Wow, why haven't we been doing this all the time?" And it's been, and it's and it's a 3 or 4-1.
Yeah.
We've just probably turned it on like we should. Or it goes to pens and we win on pens, because I think every tournament we go to, I might be wrong, but definitely in my lifetime, I'm sure every tournament we go to, we have a game where we go to pens.
And what was, yeah. I
And
can't
I think
remember
this
many,
might be
to
the
be
one.
fair, where we haven't done. Yeah, I think you might be right.
So I feel as though this could be a pens, because a lot of people are saying it's a 50-50 game, and I tend to agree, which is
I think
mental.
if you go on form, I think you're probably right. Yeah.
So I've got them two outcomes. I still see England going through, but which way I don't know.
Well,
It'd be a shit game. It goes to pens, or it'd be a thrashing.
we're due a performance. That's what I keep telling myself. I'm like, we're due a
Yeah.
performance. We haven't even got started yet, and we're in the quarterfinals. So I'm like, right, we can only get better from here. We can. I'm keeping telling myself, I'm like, as bad as it's been, we can only get better. So I'm sticking to that. So
Go true.
let's see how we get on.
Come
Right,
on, the
mate.
Lions.
Come on, the Three Lions. Come on, England. Good chat, mate. Thanks as always. Thanks for watching, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Tell us your predictions in the comments below, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.